And we can take you to Sochi, Russia right now because Natalie Carney is joining us. Natalie, welcome. The Olympic torch, we understand, is about to arrive in Sochi. People must be very excited about that. Can you tell us if there was anything special about these final stages of the torch relay?
Yes, well, we're definitely waiting patiently for the torch to make its final resting spot here in Sochi, where of course it'll be part of the grand opening ceremonies on Friday evening. Yesterday it went to Ras Nodur, which was the last stop on the relay that started back in October in the capital city of Moscow. Over the last 4 months, it's been to 132 cities across the country, including remote areas of Russia's far east, as well as turbulent areas such as the North Caucasus and Chechnya, and Russia's European enclave of Kaliningrad. So it's been around the country and back some. So we're quite excited to see it finally come home to Sochi for those the lighting ceremony, which will take place at the opening ceremony. And what's really interesting is there's a lot of buzz going around right now about who's going to relight the torch at the opening ceremony. And there are some rumors that it could even be President Vladimir Putin's girlfriend, who was a champion of the 2004 Olympics in gymnastics.
Well, it's certainly had an interesting ride there because it's been into space and been down in the depths of the lakes as well. But Natalie, we saw your report earlier in which you mentioned, of course, the security situation, and some of the people you interviewed said that they were feeling quite comfortable about the security itself. How are preparations and general arrangements going with that in mind?
Well, as I mentioned, Russia has spent somewhere upwards of $3 billion on security measures. Here around Olympic Village and up in the mountain where some of the games will also be held are very heavily secured. Everything is accredited. It's very difficult to sort of get from A to B without any sort of accreditation. The government, as I mentioned, has spent a lot of money, but so have individual nations. They've taken their own security precautions for their teams, such as the US. They've been told not to wear their uniforms when they're not competing, not to gather in large groups or in public areas. There's also some warships in the Black Sea right here behind me, behind the Olympic Village, waiting to evacuate any citizens should a problem arise. As well, the area is also very heavily protected in case there are any attacks from the air. But a lot of the people that I've spoken to in the security business are saying that this area is so well protected and so well guarded that the real concern lies outside of Sochi and in the outskirts of Sochi and even other parts of Russia. So there is still a high security concern there, but here on the ground for the athletes, for the 25,000 volunteers, and of course the hundreds, millions of spectators that are likely to come to descend on Sochi over the next few days, everything seems to be safe. As I mentioned, the Russians are quite confident that security concerns, at least here, have been well taken care of.
Fine, thanks very much indeed, Natalie. Natalie Carney reporting to us from Sochi with the torch on its way to its final destination.